Welcome to the On Fire Empire team call. Today is Tuesday, May 28th, and we're so excited to have you guys here. End of May. You guys, we are almost halfway through the year. Freaking insane. What we want to talk to you guys about tonight, the last 2 weeks on our team calls, we have heard all about gaining momentum in your business and that equation that both Josh and Kristen talked about in reaching your goals and staying consistent and having this business work for you, which if you guys missed it or you need a recap of it, the equation for that momentum for anything you want with this business, right, is consistency plus intensity plus worth plus time. Okay, so you have to have all four of those. Like a lot of times we hear, well, just talk to more people, just talk to more people. Or you just haven't been in the business long enough. You need to give it some time. And while all of those things are very true, you also have to have all four of those components to the equation, right? You also, not only do you have to be consistent, but you have to be intense. And that doesn't mean like in your face intense. Like think of it of like having energy and being excited about what you're doing. And then you have to know your worth. You have to know your value and what you're providing people. And you have to know that you deserve these things that you are working for, because whatever you are looking for, you will find, right? Josh always tells us our limiting beliefs are constantly looking for a story to like verify it, right? They're constantly looking for a way for us to like fall into those pit traps. So if we are saying, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for this, or, you know, I can't ever find business builders and like the only people that want to come with me are just like discount coaches. Well, all you're going to find are discount coaches. So you have to know your worth. You have to speak truth into that. And then yes, time. You have to give it time. People that come into this and like a month or two in, 3 months in, and they're like, I just don't think I'm cut out for this. And I'm like, it has been 3 months. Like you have to give it time. And we always talk about like, hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and try to mute everybody so we don't have too much background noise. You know, it's almost like whenever you're a toddler or you have a toddler, right? And they start to try to walk, and they are, you know, fearless about it in the beginning, right? Like they would probably step off like the ledge of the fireplace if you would let them, completely fearless, because they are so excited about doing it, right? They're intense about it, and they fall down and they get back up and they try again. They fall down, they get back up and they try again, right? They're consistent about it. And they see everybody else walking around on these two legs, right? And so they know that they can do it. They know their worth in it, right? And so they keep doing it. And over time, they start to walk. And then what happens? They get a little bit older, they get a little bit smarter, that fear sets in, and they start thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't walk quite as fast because I might fall. Or maybe I shouldn't walk on that real skinny part of the sidewalk because I might trip off. Maybe, you know, all these things start going through their head where they're not quite as fearless. And you guys, it's the same thing in anything we do, not just this business, but in our health and fitness journey, and our careers outside of this business, and our, you know, going through school. Like we are so gung-ho and so excited and fearless when we start. And then these fears can kind of start creeping in and making us slow down, maybe make us overthink things. And we kind of just have to fight through that. We have to continue knowing what we're doing and continuing sharing what we're doing. So it's been on our hearts recently for us to really up the accountability of coaching here. And we are so grateful for all of you that are here, regardless if you are somebody who is here to be a part of the community and to see our faces every Tuesday. We love you and we are so thankful for you and we're so glad you're here. If you're somebody who is just excited to get their Shakeology paid for every month, if you're somebody who loves bringing in a new challenger every month, we are so, so thankful for you. But we have a lot of people in here who have some really, really big goals with this, and that's really exciting too. And I feel like sometimes because of this community and because of our friendships, we can kind of put that accountability piece, that mentorship piece on the back burner because we don't want to step on people's toes. I don't ever want to upset people. And so I feel like we haven't been living up to our potential per se, and how we can really help you guys find success in this business, whatever success is for you. And so we want to not only have this community and our team calls where we hope to empower you and inspire you and provide you with the tools to be successful, we really want to put that piece of accountability into action with coaching, kind of like we do with our challenge groups, right? We have people checking in. We have people sharing what they're doing. And so, this is not necessarily our idea. We got it from Josh, and this is what we do in his groups. And we thought, why not use what we are learning from him, use that accountability piece, and pour it into our coaches so that we can truly help you guys reach those goals, whatever that may be. So Logan, you want to tell them about the group and kind of our plans moving forward with that?
Sure. Okay. So like Haley said, she and I have both struggled with like being able to provide you guys maybe with the level of accountability that you need to really like put in the work to get you to where you want to be in the business. And like she said, like all of us on the call, everyone can come into the team with different goals and, you know, wanting to be at different levels. But when one of my coaches comes to me and tells me that they want to be able to use coaching to build a full-time income to stay home with their kids, like I just feel this responsibility that I need to provide a higher level of accountability. And because I am not a tough love person, it's really, really hard for me to give tough love to people. And it's equally hard for me to take it from people. I will take it and I'll be mad for a little while, but I'll process it. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But because like of my own, just like anxiety, I guess, about tough love, like it's hard for me to give it to other people, but I recognize that some people need a little bit more of that tough love and accountability. And that was why I felt the desire to level up my business and invest in this higher level of accountability with a person outside of Beachbody that was going to tell me what crap I needed to do every single day in order to continue to level up my business. Because I don't like sitting in a place where I feel stagnant or like I'm working but not necessarily growing. And Haley and I both were just feeling this like pull to do something to level up, you know? And so that's why, you know, it's the same thing. Like they always say, like, you can't expect to do, you know, the same thing and necessarily get different results, you know, like with like you can't do 27,000 rounds of 21-day fix and necessarily like expect, I mean, some people do that and they do get results, but you know, that's like the beauty of our programs is like being able to switch it up in order to kind of move to that next level of your physical fitness. And so that's kind of what we are envisioning with this higher level of accountability that we're going to bring to all of you guys. So if you've been around for, I don't know, the last like 6 months or so, we've had this group that we created called the Action Academy. And don't go searching for it because none of you are in it right now. I literally cleaned like every single person out of it so that we can start fresh, because there are some people in there that like, I don't know, they're like MIA now. So I just had to like do a clean sweep of the group, and this will like reshare the link into the team page. And I want you to request to join if you are ready to level up and do the things that are on this like daily tracker that we're going to show you guys, because this is the thing about the business. Like, it's so simple. Like, our business is so simple, and the things that we need to do every day to just move the needle forward just a little bit are not complicated, and they're not hard. They're not necessarily easy, but they're not hard. And it's really easy to just make it a habit and do them every day, just like you brush your teeth. Like, you just brush your teeth, like you don't even think about it every single day. At least I hope you do. But these things are also very easy not to do, because maybe it was like your kids were home from school like on an unplanned day and everything just like went kind of crazy, and you'll just like double up tomorrow, but then like you don't because something happened with your dog, and then, you know, and it can just snowball, and before you know it, you know, you haven't done any work for a week to 2 weeks. And this business, like Haley used the analogy of like a baby learning to walk. It's also like kind of like riding a bike. Like when you get started and you're sitting on your bike, and maybe you share like your first transformation photo for the first time, and your coach like goes over your post and says like, this sounds great. And they give you like that big shove, like your dad gives you that big shove when you're like first taking off on your bike, you know, and you're just cruising because you have this momentum with it, like being new, that like first takeoff, you know, and people are like maybe ready to join you. But you can only ride out that momentum for so long before you need to learn how to pedal. And pedaling is doing the crap, doing the things that are on this tracker that we're going to show you. And if you can't figure out how to pedal, you're going to crash and you're going to burn and you're not going to move forward. And that happens to us over and over. I can't tell you how many times I've fallen off my bike and I ride it back up and I like dust myself off and throw myself a pity party and do extra PD. And I, you know, talk to Haley, she gives me the next shove and we go on our way again on the bike. But like that, so try to use like that analogy, because you need to learn how to pedal in order to keep that momentum going. And then once you're going, like you don't have to pedal your legs like a bat out of hell to keep it going. Like it can just be a constant motion that's steady, not necessarily something crazy like sending 100 invites a day or something like that, because that's so not necessary to be successful in this business. You guys, I found a screenshot of my Instagram from like this time last year, just like a screenshot of like, you know, my like home page, and I had barely over 2,000 followers. And I, at that point, like 2 months later, hit 5-star elite. So don't like put these lies in your head like you have to have these like massive followings or anything crazy like that. It's just honestly doing these simple activities over and over, lather, rinse, repeat, and allowing the compound effect to set in. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to show you first. If I want to show you the actual tracker or the instructions for the tracker. Because we have both. I'll just show you the tracker. And so this is what like the paper copy of the tracker looks like. But in our group, we are actually going to have a Google sheet that you're going to go in, and you're going to be able to find your name in a column. And these are going to be like broken out, like one like sheet page is going to be a week, and you're going to go through, and when you do these things every single day, you're going to go through and just check the boxes that you're getting, we're going to call it your crap, you're getting your crap done. So the first things that are going to be on your tracker that are so important that are so easy to skip, because believe me, if I skip anything, it's usually these things. But they are so very important for setting your mindset and your intention for the day. And if you can make it a habit of doing personal development, listening or reading out loud some affirmations to yourself, planning out your day with a planner, like where you physically write out, like basically in 30-minute increments, what you are doing like throughout your day. So that way you have written down, like, this is when I'm going to do my workout. This is when I'm going to sit down and do my tracker or do my invites. This is when I have to leave the house to go pick up the kids from school. This is when I have such and such call. Like, if it's anything that's happening in your day, it needs to be written down on a planner, because it is so easy to let your day just kind of like take control of you instead of you taking control of your day and telling your time where to go. And this is one of the things that is so brand new to me, because, you know, being a stay-at-home mom with my kids mostly, like, we don't live and breathe by a schedule. I'm not one of those people that like lives and breathes by a schedule day to day. But this is one of the things that he said, like, I'm sorry if that's not your jam, but in my group, like, this is what you're doing. And it is honestly such a game changer in just, so I actually do it before I go to bed at night. I use a digital planner on my iPad, and I will sit down and block out like all the little sections of my day of what is going to happen when throughout the day. And then I go to bed, and I'm actually able to like go to bed and shut my brain off, knowing like, this is what my plan is for tomorrow. This is what my to-do list is for tomorrow. And then when I get up in the morning, I know exactly what I need to be doing in order to move my business forward. Okay, the next piece is going to be writing down your goals. And you're going to be doing this every single day. We are going to be having our monthly goals that we're going to be writing down, because we need to be creating monthly goals of things that we want to be, you know, moving forward in our business, as well as our puke goals, like the big, hairy, scary, the name is in the, you know, make you want to puke type of goals. So this can be, you know, your monthly goals. This can be, you know, how many people you want to recruit for the month, what you want your SC numbers to be, how many new business building coaches you want to bring into your team, how many of your coaches you want to help rank advance to Emerald. And then for your puke goals, like, don't downplay your puke goals, because the safer you make them, the less likely that you're going to do the work to actually achieve them. So like, one of my puke goals used to be matching my RN salary so that I could stay home with the kids. And I did that. So then it was like, okay, what's my next puke goal going to be? Because I've already reached that one. So my next one is being able to bring Levi home. And that's a far off goal. It's not something that's going to happen this year necessarily, but seeing what we've been able to create in less than 3 years, like, gives me the confidence that, holy crap, like, imagine where we could be in, you know, 5 years from now or something like that. So, so eventually bringing Levi home, being a 2020 elite team, like we were a 2019 elite team, building 2 new elite coaches underneath me in my downline. Like, these are all like big, hairy, scary puke goals, but you need to write them down every day, like before you go into any of the other business stuff, so that you know what the frick it is that you're working for. So when I have one of those days where I'm like, I really don't feel like sending invites today, I can be like, well, Logan, you can either wallow in the fact that you don't want to reach out and invite people, and then you can be cool with the fact that if you don't work today, you know, that's just another month that you can add on to Levi having to work, like, down the road, because you didn't feel like sending invites today. And it's those kind of goals and dreams and visions that are going to make you do the things when you don't really feel like it. I heard this awesome quote today from Grant Cardone. because that's the personal development that he has us listening to. And Grant Cardone said, this is from his audiobook, Be Obsessed or Be Average. He said, you don't have to like what you're doing to love what you do. Like, you don't have to like sending invites to love being a coach and change other people's lives and create like financial freedom and dreams for your family. You don't have to like expanding your network, but you have to do it anyways. Like, there were so many things that I didn't like having to do as a nurse, but I had to do it because it was my job. Like, if I could get out of doing any like little baby lab blood draws, like if I could get anyone else to do it for me, I would, because that was just not a part of my job that I loved, but I did it anyways because it was part of like what I was hired for and I had to do it. And it's the same thing with everything in this tracker. Like, this is the formula that you have to follow every day, like in this group, because these are the like tried and true things that are going to help build that momentum over time. And in 6 months, you're like not even going to recognize your business anymore. And so you don't have to necessarily like doing every little piece of this equation in order to love coaching, but you have to be able to consistently do these things in order to get your business to the place where then you can hire an assistant to do your invites for you and you don't have to do them anymore. So you are obviously going to be using your product. That's one of our vital behaviors. Be a product of the product. Do your workout, drink your Shakeology, use your performance line. We're going to be starting 10 new convos a day. So my favorite way to do this is through happy birthday messages to people on Facebook. And that is where, instead of writing on their Facebook wall, you message them in Messenger and you wish them a happy birthday and you ask if they have any fun plans for the day. You don't have any gross agenda. You're not asking them to sign up with you. You're just being a friend on their birthday. And I can't tell you how many people have responded so positively to me in saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for actually taking the time to write me like a private message. It's just so much more personal. That's literally how I got Emma to join me, because I sent her a happy birthday message. You are going to be using a tracking system for your conversations and your invites. And I'm not going to go into, there's so many different ways to track. So I'm not going to go into that today. We're going to deep dive more into that within the group. You're going to expand your network. And there are like 1,000,002 YouTube videos on how to expand your network through Instagram. My personal experience, though, is expanding your network through Instagram is slow, especially because Instagram does not like you to use third-party like growth tools like people got away with in the last year or two. I love expanding my network through Facebook. It's so much easier for me because Facebook tells me every single day, like every time I log in, hey, Logan, this is a list of people that you should probably be friends with, because you have mutual friends with these people. And, you know, if I see that we have anywhere between like 10 and 20 mutual friends, I kind of avoid the ones that I have like 80 mutual friends with, because of the odds of them being friends with a bunch of other people on the team. So I kind of go for that like kind of 10 to 20, and I don't ever go to like another coach's friends list and start like friend requesting people from there. But if it's like a random like friend of a friend, I'll kind of go to their friends list and just see people that I might have things in common with and just start sending friend requests. I also love expanding my network on Facebook through interest groups. That was one of the best things that came from my pregnancy with Lily, because when I was pregnant with her, I joined mom groups of other moms that were due in December of 2017. So it obviously didn't turn into any big thing then when I was pregnant, because these are all these like pregnant moms, not necessarily like thinking about starting a health and fitness journey. But we all got to know each other in this group, and there's like thousands of people in there, and we all got to know each other, like share our pregnancy journey together. And then, you know, everyone has babies then, and everyone, 6 months down the road starts thinking about this postpartum transformation. And I have quite a few girls that are on my team now that have come from these pregnancy groups, and we just relate to each other because we have babies that are the same age. And so they're just like my tribe and my people. It's one of the easiest ways for me to expand my network on Facebook. And I just feel like it's so much less a shot in the dark than necessarily growing it through Instagram and hoping that like someone follows you back after you follow them and engage on their stuff. But and then you are going to send your invites. These are the first like little set of boxes is invites for your challenge group or like a free group if you're running a free group. And if you're running a free group, then these should be doubled than what's on here. And then recruiting invites. You need to be sending at least 3, if not 5, if you want to kind of like 10x things, inviting invites to people to join you as a coach, like to join you for the business opportunity. And I know that that is one of the scariest things for people to do. And it was the thing that I put off the longest. And I found myself like hitting my head against the wall. Like, why do I only have discount coaches? Why do I not have anybody that's building underneath me or wanting to do this business with me? And I just like really had to take a good hard look in the mirror and realize that I was not inviting anybody to do it with me. I was occasionally putting like a super vague, not really call to action post on social media where I just kind of like I just kind of like glossed over the fact that there was like potentially an opportunity for people, but I was not like black and white transparent about like, these are the blessings that this business has given to my life and you can do this too. So it's so important, especially if you're feeling like you're in a place in your business where you are needing and ready for business builders to run with you. You have to be inviting people. And honestly, my business building coaches have told me that me reaching out and asking them to coach with them was never anything like icky or gross to them. They felt flattered that I wanted them to be on my team. And so you just have to really like check where your heart is at. Like, why are you asking this person to coach with you? Is it because you need that last person to hit your next rank advancement? Or is it because this business opportunity has changed your life or is in the process of changing your life and you want to be able to share that with somebody else as well? Then you're going to do your follow-ups. And then over here on the other side of the tracker, sorry, I have to move my little video screens. It tells you like what social media type things to do. So for like random stories, you need to do a story where you're talking at least like once on video. Some sort of story with a poll or a question. Does not have to be health and fitness related. It's just a way to like get people to engage like within your stories. Social media, do a post on social media every day. It's part of the tracker. You have to do it every day. Come down here. We're going to tell you exactly what to post every day. So you don't even have to think about it. You just do it. And then the last column over here is check in with your team. And then over here is the posting schedule. I don't need to read all of these out because you guys all know how to read. But this is just a guideline for you to follow so that it doesn't get to 11 o'clock at night and you're like, crap, I've not posted anything yet. I don't know what to post. Oh, I guess I'll just catch up with it tomorrow. And then tomorrow's crazy and you realize you haven't posted again. And before you know it, it's been 5 days and everybody thinks you're closed for business and you're not coaching anymore because you're not showing up. So this is what the tracker looks like. We're also going to have this, these daily tracker instructions in here just to take any of the guesswork out that tells you like what each little section means. And I can see a lot of things in the chat, but I need to stop sharing so that I can actually read the things.
think we had them all caught up there.
Okay.
In there. But so whenever we've had a lot of coaches be like, okay, but like, what do I need to do every day? And we have a great Success Club tracker system. Essentially, this is the exact same thing, right? So now this is your checklist for the day. If you are wanting to move your business forward, if you're wanting to bring new people in every month, then these are the things that you need to be doing every day. And you'll notice like Sundays don't have like the invites and all that kind of good stuff. We give you a day to catch up. If you missed a day or missed some invites one day or whatever, you know, you've got a day to kind of catch up. So what does everyone think about the tracker? Good? Bad? You're going to quit tomorrow because of this. Just kidding. I hope this makes you really excited because like Logan was saying, I am also somebody who like I can be really consistent or I can be really not consistent, but I didn't have anybody there to be like, hey, are you doing your stuff? And so like now I'm paying money for somebody to be like, hey, are you doing your stuff? And so we wanted to give you guys that accountability there. What was I going to say? So we are, like Logan said, we're cleaning out the Action Academy group because no one's in it right now. Cleaning it out. We're going to put the tracker in there. We're going to put the instructions for the tracker. And like she said, we're going to create a tracker in Google Sheets where you are responsible for going in and updating it every day or every week. So like Ashley Ormson is in Josh's group with us and she's like so on top of things. She like has her week thing printed out and she keeps it updated on paper and then she goes in there like Saturday night and like fills out all her things. So you can do that or you can go in and fill it out daily. But what we're going to do every Monday, the way the tracker works, it'll tell you on the very last little column in the Google Sheet. I can't remember what the exact numbers are, but it says your number has to be less than, I think it's 30 to have been doing at least 70% of your stuff. So every Monday, we're going to have a little call out post. And this is not to embarrass anybody. This is not to make anybody feel bad, but this is part of that accountability piece. So we'll have a little call out post for those of us from the week before who weren't at that 70% where you've got some time to make up for it. And if you don't get it filled out, we haven't decided exactly what we're going to do because actually in Josh's group, you get kicked out for the rest of the month and then you can get back in. And that's a lot of money that like you aren't, you invested to throw away. So we know there's not like a financial like investment into this group. So, but we want to make sure you're staying accountable and you're doing your things. So there will be a call out post. We played around with how like, okay, well, what do you have to do to remain in the group? So essentially to remain in the group, you have to be hitting that 70% completion of your tracker. And then for everyone who hits Success Club for the month, we're going to have a special call each month with somebody. Logan and I have a great opportunity to work with some incredible coaches in the company. And so we've got a lot of connections that we're going to ask some of our friends to come in and give either a training or pour in some inspiration, motivation. And if you are hitting Success Club, you will get access to that call. But as long as you're at least hitting 70% in that tracker, you get to hang out in the group. We may throw in some different like training videos that we find helpful. We may throw in some different motivational tips and things like that. But the point of this group is to hold you guys accountable so that we can make sure that you guys are reaching your goals, that you're doing the things to get you there. And then it'll be so much better when someone comes and they're like, Haley, I'm still not able, to get my 3 people every month, or my goal was to get 5 people this month and I only got, 3, or whatever it is. And we can say, hey, well, let's look at your tracker. Let's see what's going on. And it'll be a lot easier for us to hold you guys accountable. And so we're trying to embrace a little bit of this tough love that neither one of us are very good at, but we know it is necessary at times. And so just kind of roll with us. We're really excited about this year. We're really excited about we've got so much momentum going with this team. Like, we want to keep it going. And we are here. This, we are here for the long game. We've got the long game in mind, but we've got some really exciting goals to hit along the way. And we want all of you guys to be a part of it. And we want all of you to know that you're such an important part of it. But for us to get there, we've got to step up our game and holding you guys accountable to the business side of things. I feel like we're getting really great at the fitness side, and we're getting our swing with that and getting people results. But now we want to get you guys results with your business. If you feel like you're at a place where you've got these goals, but you're just not there yet, this is where that's going to come into play.
Totally. And the thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is, like, even though we're starting this group and it's going to go on like indefinitely forever, I don't want you to get to like the end of June and be like, well, I did the tracker and like it's not working, because it's one of those things that is just part of the compound effect. And like what Josh tells us is, if you can commit to showing up and doing these things like every day, then things are going to be totally different for you in like 3 months. Because what happens is, if you can commit yourself to sticking to something, like for me, like when I first started my health and fitness journey, I could only bring myself to commit to the 21-day fix because I didn't have the confidence in myself that I could stick to a program longer than that, because I had quit anything that I had started in the past after 2 weeks. I quit Insanity after 3 days because holy hell. But I could commit to 21 days and doing the 21-day fix. And when I got to the end of those 21 days, it gave me the confidence that, well, I made it through that 21 days, so maybe I can do another 21 days. And then maybe I could actually do the 60 days of PIO. And before I knew it, because I was sticking with it and doing the things and actually like following the whole recipe, it's like when we get those challengers that are like, I've been doing my workouts every day, and you ask about their nutrition and they're like, well, I haven't like totally been following it. And I'm like, well, obviously that's why you're not seeing your results. Or as soon as they do start, they're like, oh my gosh, it actually works. Or Shakeology actually does like curb my cravings. And you're like, duh, that's why I told you to drink it every day. But it's the same thing with this formula for the business. Like, Haley and I are not the experts. We did not come up with this on our own. This is the same formula so it's the formula that Josh has given us. It's the same formula that Beachbody gives us. And it's the same formula that all of the top coaches use to get their businesses to where they are today. And it just takes consistency, because if you can do it consistently for 3 months, for 6 months, even if the numbers will like be there. It's just math. Like, if you tell me that you're doing all the things and you're at SC0 for like 6 months straight, like I know that you're not, because the numbers don't lie. But what happens is this change on the inside when you can stick to something for that long and build up the confidence in yourself that you can do this and your worth is in this, then this light just comes on inside of you. And when you can show up on social media with that light and that confidence, people will want to join you. because there are a million people out there looking for a solution that we have. And we get too caught up in our own BS and our own limiting beliefs to show up and hand it to them on a silver platter because we're afraid someone's going to say no. When there are people literally dying, crying to sleep every single night, getting divorced from their spouse, like barely able to feed their kids every week because we're too afraid to share an opportunity like this with them. Like, we don't get to decide like who actually will like take it and run with it, but it is our job, our mission to present it to anybody that is out there willing to listen. Because I guarantee you, when my original coach Blair made that like very first post on social media back in August of 2015, we didn't even know each other in person. She had no idea that one post was going to be the thing that was going to change my life completely. Bring me home with my babies, plant the seed in my heart that I could build a business that could bring my husband home from a job that is literally killing him, that maybe we could rewrite the script so that he doesn't have a heart attack like his dad had when he was 35 years old. And when you can allow a why like that to seep into your heart and know that you can like just rewrite the script for your whole family, for somebody else's family, then like it just takes all those limiting beliefs and just shoves them away, because it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what so-and-so from high school might think about that post, because they're not the ones paying your bills. And so we just like, it's our mission and this duty to present this to as many people as possible, because you don't know who that person is that is dying inside for something like this. You're not the one that's responsible for, making sure that they actually like show up and do it, because it's on each individual person, like, to make sure that they show up and do it. But what I want this to do for you guys is to give you the confidence that, number one, you can do it. And number two, that you can teach it to your coaches that you're onboarding. Because I think a lot of you are holding yourselves back from recruiting because you don't know what the crap to do with a coach once you sign them up, and you don't know how to get them started. This is going to take the guesswork out of that, because you're going to say, sister, this is exactly what I do every single day, and this is where it's gotten me. This is what you're going to do every single day, and this is where you're headed. And that's what this is going to do. And it's going to take all the emotion and all the fluff, because we are CEOs and this is our job. And these are the things that we show up to do every day, and you can get it done in a freaking hour. And move your business forward and go on with your life and be with your family and not be tied to your phone 24/7. Like, we do this job to give us that time with our family, not to detract from time and, attention with our family. So if we can follow the tracker, get in there, like, be intentional. That's what the intensity piece of it is, you guys. Like, sometimes like we hear this message like 10x your business in order to 10x your results. And that doesn't mean that you have to 10x like the number of people that you're talking to. I mean, you can if you're someone that like has that time in the day, but I have 3 kids. Like, no, I do not have that time. And you guys all see Lily on my stories. Like, she's psycho. I can't take my eyes off of her. But I can 10x the intensity that I'm bringing to my work, so that I can sit down with intention and focus and get my tracker done, rather than spending 4 to 5 hours like fiddling around on my computer and like working on this and then kind of going back to that, and crap, I haven't done my invites yet, so I'll go send a couple, and then, oh, this other message came in, so now I'm distracted, and I never actually end up working, even though I'm spending all day working. Raise your hand if you've like accidentally done that before. Yeah. So this is going to take the guesswork out of it. It's going to take the emotion out of it. Like, we're just going to know what we have to do every single day, and we're going to hold each other accountable and call each other out on our crap, even though that makes me really scared to do. But like, I know what is possible with this, and if it's possible for me and if it's possible for Haley, like, it's possible for all of you guys. There's no reason why you can't achieve it as well. So I'm going to zip it, and Haley can wrap us up, because otherwise I'll just keep going on. You know me.
Preach, sister. All right, you guys, we are so excited for this, and we are ready to not just level up our businesses, but help you guys level yours up. And our team is just, I'm just so blessed to be a part of this community, and so honored to be somebody who gets to be a part of this, because it is, you guys, this is something that is so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than Logan. It's so much bigger than you. Like Logan said, like we are like literally have something that can completely change someone else's life. And if you don't believe that, I don't know if you haven't like seen people's transformation stories or heard people's stories, but you got to switch that flip that switch first. Right? You got to have belief in what you're doing, because if you don't, people are going to read that from the minute they see your post, from the second they hear your voice, from the minute they look at your message, they're going to feel it. But if you believe in this with everything that you have, and you're excited about it, and you come with intensity, they're going to want to jump off a cliff to do whatever you're doing, right? People are going to join us if they love us and if they trust us. And that's what we're here to do, right? Our social media is here to provide value. Our social media is there for people to get to know us. Stories, like how awesome is that? We didn't, like freaking 2 years ago, we didn't really even have stories. But now people get like a sneak peek into our day. And so they know us. They get that opportunity to get to know that Lily is a terror, or to get to know that like Knox, tackles Packard 24/7, or they get to know like all the little tidbits that they wouldn't normally. And they start to love and they start to trust us. And then when we ask them to do this with us, they don't even know what we're doing sometimes, but they want to, because they love us, right? And I'm just thankful for you guys showing up every week here and listening to us sometimes start to ramble, but we just love this so much, and it has completely changed our lives and the future of our families, that we can't help but continue to pay this forward. And that is why it's been so heavy on our hearts to make sure that we are providing that accountability piece with this business, because it is life-changing, you guys. And we want that more than anything for y'all. So we are working hard over, I don't know, do you want to open it the first, Logan? Like start fresh? I mean, it's in like 3 days. So we're cleaning it out. We're going to put the things in there that we need in there. We might go ahead and start adding people over the next couple of days. Be on the lookout for that post in the team page. And then we're going to start fresh June 1st. Okay. And I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. And, anyway, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for taking time away from your family. I hope you guys had a great long weekend, and we will see you guys in the team page. Love y'all.